Hey guys, Paul from Ashen.
Hi, Paul!
It is New Comic Book Day for the week of November 28th, and we're going to get started right now.
Hi, Paul.
Today's sponsor, comic books. That's why we're here.
All of comics?
All of comics. All of them. We are so good. DC, Marvel, Image, Valiant, Dynamite, Black Mask, all of them. They all love us.
But not IDW?
Maybe IDW.
Maybe.
Maybe I
They're
don't
the
know.
one that's maybe?
That's
silly.
to start a weird war for no reason.
No, I like IDW.
I like IDW.
I read GoBots, remember?
I know, GoBots were cool.
I mean, the book was cool.
Read IDW.
Alright guys, Tim from the comic book store in Capes and Scows. Couple notes about this episode. We only got half of our order today. Now, does that affect you tomorrow buying your books, or today buying your books, whenever this video goes? Today buying your books? No, it does not. I'll have the other books by then. But we had a limited amount of things that we could review. Thank God the previews come out tomorrow, and thank God that box didn't come, because then I'd just be like, well, let's read the previews. Page E7. Like, that would suck. That'd be a really bad video. That'd be our worst video ever. Anyways, let's talk about the trades I do have. I've got Disney Presents Moby Dick, starring Donald Duck. This is a Disney take on the classic book. This looks awesome, by the way.
Sure that isn't Scrooge?
It is Scrooge, but it's also starring Donald Duck.
Oh, okay.
How about you mind your P's and Q's?
I just saw Scrooge. I didn't see Donald.
I know the difference. I love Scrooge McDuck.
I know you
And Professor Von Drake.
You reviewed him on his channel.
That's right. We have All-Star Superman has a new printing, part of DC Black Label. I guess it's a good choice. Let's buff up that Black Label thing. Grant Morrison's The Invisibles, Book 4. If you're re-getting this series, these giant volumes for not a lot of money, it's a good move. We've got The Mighty Thor, Volume 5. This is the end of the last series that Jason Aaron did, featuring Lady Thor. We have Eternity Girl, which is a weird book that I actually enjoyed. I enjoyed it a lot. I know Young Animal's hit or miss for me and Paul, but I enjoyed that. And we got X-Men Gold, Volume 7. Is this the last X-Men Gold?
So.
Most likely. If you want to have all of the X-Men Gold before X-Men Gold comes back in a year in a new #1. Sorry.
First up, we have Hex Girls, issue number 2. I wanted to give this another try because the first issue was really interesting, but the premise could have gone one of two ways. And I like this book still. We are in the second issue of witches kind of brainwashed or spell-washed or whatever into believing that they are Stepford wives. By the people who have been hunting them for a millennia. You're starting to see more of the cracks coming through because this spell obviously only matters when the women are completely and totally happy, and they're just not accepting this Stepford wife position, and you're starting to see more and more of that come through, and more of the weird lengths that the guys have to go through to basically keep them happy. It's kind of creepy, but the writing is phenomenal. And it just makes you feel weird. And I think that's what they want you to do. That's what they want you to feel for this. And it's a great read. You should be checking this out. I will say, I didn't say it the last time, this is an 18-plus book. There's some nudity in here, boobs. So, kids, no. Stop that.
Alright, gang. First up, we have Marvel Action Spider-Man, #1. What does that combination of words mean? I said, I have no idea. Let me read it. This is a very good book for somebody who is a fan of Spider-Man movies. Maybe you watch the cartoons or whatnot, and you're just, where do I jump in? This is made for you to just easily jump in. This is 16-year-old Peter Parker, who is trying to get an internship at the Daily Bugle so he can win an interview with Tony Stark, because he can't quite get close enough to him as Spider-Man. You may notice the other Spider people on the cover, Spider-Gwen and Miles Morales, are also young and in this book. They're not going to dive into history too much. It's just going to be, here we go, and you're going to learn their powers and their different personality traits and how they differ. They're all in this universe together, fighting crime together. They fight giant rats in this one. They're really ugly. I enjoyed this book. So, and it's geared a little younger, but I don't think it's necessarily solely for a young reader. I thought it was fun.
Next up, we have Heroes in Crisis number 3. A lot happens in this book. We start to see some of what happened, some of the initial deaths of what so many D-list characters die, and then A-listers, because we see what came of Roy and what came of Wally. And I have a theory on what's going to go down and what actually happened, but I'm not going to do it here. This is just beautifully written. It's so well done. And you get to see more of what the Sanctuary is and what the Sanctuary does for the superheroes. It is just a joy to read. I mean, a joy in the fact that it's so well written and so beautifully done, but it's really sad and kind of... it's just out there. It's one of those things where it does make you feel a certain kind of way. Don't read it if you're depressed, because it's still going to make you worse. But, I mean, it's a great book, and you should be reading it.
Next up, we got Quincredible. I'm laughing because I screwed up a lot. We have Quincredible number 1 from Catalyst Prime Universe, from Lion's Roar, Lion's Forge. I'm so bad at this. I screwed this up a bunch of times. Who cares? Lion's Forge. They do Voltron? ? They're good. I know I've read other stuff by them. Anyways, this book, apparently they have a whole superhero universe that they're kind of cultivating, and they're slowly kind of putting the characters together. Basically what you have is you have the Hurricane Katrina stuff happen, but then after that, you also had a meteor shower, which ended up giving people powers. Quinn is your character in this one. His power, he's essentially like a Luke Cage character, where he's got invulnerability. He's not as strong, but he's got invulnerability, and he can take a beating like no one else. It's a strange superpower. So he is trying to find a way to use his power to benefit society. There's a really good tone to this book where they talk about, it's kind of like civil rights and everyone's rights, but it's like an underlining tone. I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that he has these powers and he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's still kind of like teenaged, and he's like, I don't know what to do. I'm just a kid. Yes, so what? I can't get beat up. Whatever. Who cares? And he really has to think about what he's going to do to help everyone out. It's a fun book. I would check out more. I enjoyed it. I want to know more. Tell me more.
And what could my pick of the week? It is going to be IronHeart, issue number 1. This is a really cute kind of fish out of the water story. Reintroduces you who Riri Williams is, and who IronHeart is. She's back at MIT, basically trying to come up with a Friday-type AI for her suit. When a D-list character comes in, I love D-list characters. I really do. They're fun. They get me back in touch with my childhood. This D-list Spider-Man character comes through and takes over a bunch of diplomats, and she has to fix this situation, all while kind of wrestling with why she is here and why she survived this long, even though everybody around her has died. So it's a much deeper book than I expected, because it does deal with like I said, a fish out of water story, but at the same time, a person grieving with survivor's guilt. So, I mean, it was a story that I was not expecting to be as good as it was. And I liked it. This is definitely one you should be picking up. I'm probably going to check out issue 2 to see how it goes, just to see what happened after the twist at the end of this issue. Pick it up.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up. Here's my pick of the week. Paul, what do you think my pick of the week is? There's only like 6 books on that wall. Come on, which one do you think it is? Which one? I could tell you a company to narrow it down, but...
Arachnite.
No, it is not Arachnite. I did not read Arachnite.
And I am lost.
All right, well, my pick of the week is Dead Man Logan. Did I read it because Ed Brisson was just here? No, because I didn't read a lot of the Old Man Logan stuff. Do I like Ed Brisson? A lot. He's a very sweet man. He grew this awesome beard. Nice beard, Ed Brisson. But what I do like about this one is if you've read the original Old Man Logan, you know the character is haunted by what happens and what he ends up doing to the X-Men in his timeline. He is nearing death. He knew he was going to die. His healing factor has slowed. His adamantium is slowly poisoning him. He had at the end of the Old Man Logan run, a huge slobber knocker of a battle, and now he is so weak that he is really close to death. So he's like, I gotta do XYZ before that happens. I'm gonna go do it. He wants to find Mysterio. You assume it is to kill him or make him in some sort of bad way to where the future prophecy from his timeline does not happen. And a lot of cool things happen in this, and unfortunately for him, other people come into play that are trying to make it happen. So you have a very cool kind of back and forth between the heroes and the villains. There's some D-listers in here. It's a day of D-listers, I tell you. Some of my favorite D-listers show up in the bar with no name. I love the bar with no name. Somebody make the bar with no name. Marvel, make the bar with no name. Ed Brisson, Canada, make the bar with no name. Anyways, everything's on Brisson today. I'm putting it all on him. He can handle it. He's got the cool beard. One of my favorite things about this issue, I don't want to go into too much more detail than that, but one of my favorite things is this universe's, the male Hawkeye and his interaction with Old Man Logan in this book is a lot of fun because they have those interactions. They've always been pals, and I like it. I like a lot of this book. I just like the way it was told. I like where it's going. I'm super interested in it. And good work, Brisson. You're a good guy. Alright guys, that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Godspeed. I don't know how you did it. Basically, coming up in the next couple of weeks with the holidays, sometimes the orders get a little wonky. As you can see today, they got a little wonky. But we're still able to produce a quality video for you. Good work, Future Paul. So, yeah, things might get weird. In the event we don't have books, we're going to make other videos for you to watch. We're going to talk about some of our favorite creators and artists from the year. So that's something to look forward to. Hey, if we end up with books and we have books all these weeks, I don't expect that.
Not gonna happen.
It's not going to. Let's just pretend we live in a perfect world.
Christmas is on Tuesday.
So we're not going to have all our books on one of those days, and we will have a special video for you. Why is it special? Because we took time and put love into it. Love, Paul.